Okay, welcome everyone. Welcome to this special call. We're going to be leading a call all about the LifeSteps app. It's one of my favorite apps. And in fact, all tonight, we're going to be talking about apps and tools, which is one of my favorite things. I definitely consider myself to be like the app queen. I love to check out things and, just sort of use my time really efficiently with apps. So would love to hear from you guys. Type in the comment box if you haven't already. What app or tool do you use to look up product information, whether it's on oils or any of the Young Living products? Like, what do you use and how do you research? And also let me know in the comment box if you've ever used LifeSteps before. Tonight, I'm going to show you 10 things that you didn't know that you could do with LifeSteps, and hopefully just kind of take the mystery out of it. Maybe you have the app, but you haven't really explored it yet. We're going to do kind of a deep dive, and I'm going to show you examples of things that you can do. So first, let me do this. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Okay, here we go. And just give me one quick second. Let's just make sure we can see this. So just give me a quick second. I'll set this up so you can look at it. I'm a super visual learner myself, so hopefully this will help you. Okay, so we're going to learn 10 things tonight you didn't know you could do with your LifeSteps app. Can you just give me a thumbs up if you can see this, just to make sure? Yes, thanks so much. Okay, so first of all, what you can do is product usage. This is a really cool feature, and you're going to see I've got a little screen grab here that I did so that you can see how it works. But product usage, I don't know about you, but when I first got my oils, I was like, how do I use everything? And I absolutely love my essential oils pocket reference, but let's be real, I don't always have it with me. And so I love to use the LifeSteps app just to look up product information. So in this video example, and I'll just run it again real quick, I just did a search in the app for Clary Sage. And this is what came up for me. And you know what? This is funny because I literally just had someone ask me, what can I use with Clary Sage? I have this oil in, my cabinet, but I've never used it before. And so I love that we can do this, that we can look up product information this way. And you'll see there's not only a graphic, but just quick highlights about the actual product, some background information on where it's farmed from, the constituents, how it's used, products it's used in, and even just sort of daily habits, DIY recipes and product suggestions of how to use just this one product. So for those of you who are actually doing the business as well, for instance, someone had asked me, how do I use this? I just grabbed the link direct from the app, copied the link, and sent this over to her. So even from a business perspective, it just makes it really, really easy to do. So product usage is a really big one. I use it daily pretty much just for that purpose. Now, the other thing that you can do is you can use the wellness assessment. Oh, I didn't grab the right video for this, so I'll make sure to update it next time. But there is a free wellness assessment within the app itself. And it's basically a 48 question quiz that you go through. And based on how you answer them, for instance, it'll say, do you feel tired in the morning? Do you crave fried food? Like that type of thing. And based on your answers, it will then give you sort of a list of products that it suggests for you. So I often do this for my new members. Before LifeSteps, what I would do is I would send them just kind of a wellness assessment, like answer these questions. So this just kind of makes it easier because it's on an app. So if you're a new member, what you could do is download LifeSteps and just take that assessment within the app, which is awesome. And then it'll give you a list of products that you can then add to your next subscription order. But if you're doing the business, this is also a really important feature to be sharing with your customers. Suggest that they take an app. You could even gamify it a little bit. Take this app, right? or incentivize it. Use this app, take the wellness assessment, and let me know what bundle comes up for you. And when you put together your first subscription order, I'll give you whatever, a $10 product credit, an oil from my stash, a roller bottle. There's so many different things that you can do. But the wellness assessment is really key. And the thing is you can actually take the wellness assessment again and again. So the first time I went through it, endocrine products came up for me, but the next time I go through it, it might be another list of products. But it really is a great way to help you or maybe any customer that you may have to kind of figure out, okay, I want to order products, I just don't know where to start from. Well, this wellness assessment really gives you that option of understanding, okay, these are the things that came up for me based on my own product need or based on my own health needs. So really love that feature. Okay, next up, monthly promos. So we post monthly promos in our Facebook groups, but you know what? Sometimes that's not always the most convenient place to go get them, right? Well, here's the really cool thing. Every single month, there are lots of different content pieces that are produced in the app for the month. So for instance, this is all the content for March, but number one thing you can look in there, monthly promos. Look at this. So you can look at the monthly promos. What are they? There's a pretty graphic, but you can also learn on how to use those promos as well, and how to structure your subscription orders. So it's really awesome, and just a great way to kind of learn on the go. Again, maybe it's not convenient for you to hop into a Facebook group. I have some members who don't want to be on social media, or maybe just aren't on Facebook or aren't on Instagram. LifeSteps is great because it's ubiquitous, right? Like you don't need to be on social media to access the content, which is wonderful. The other thing that you can do with LifeSteps, just kind of on this monthly theme, is you can get what's called spotlights. So each month in the monthly spotlight, it's kind of like a newsletter. What you can do is you can scroll through, you'll see the monthly promos, but then you'll also see some other suggestions, like what to put in your subscription order, a DIY recipe. You'll also see an oil spotlight, as well as a ditch and switch, a supplement spotlight, and even book recommendations. And this changes out every single month. Like, how cool is that? So again, a really great way to learn on the go. But then also, if you're doing the business, you could actually grab this link. So you see where it says copy link, you could copy that link and send it to your customers in an email or a text message. And that could certainly be like a newsletter that you send out to them, and then they would get the link to then scroll through. So again, just great all the way around for customers and for brand partners. But this is probably one of my favorite features within the LifeSteps app. In fact, you know what I do is not only do I use it for myself, right, to learn about the DIY of the month or the ditch and switch of the month. And not only do I send a link to this newsletter, but I also use the individual content pieces. Like for instance, the March diffuser recipes or the March oil of the month. I'll put that into my oil education Facebook group as content. So you can use this in so many different ways. But let's say you had someone who was a potential customer, and they wanted to, learn about a DIY recipe, or, Luscious Lemon, which is the oil spotlight of the month. You could grab and copy, right, that graphic of that product and the content and send it over. So again, really great way to use the content, but also a great way to learn too. And it changes out every month. Okay, DIY recipes. Tell me in the comments who loves to DIY. I go through phases where I'm like all the DIY, and then other times where maybe it's not quite so much. But let me tell you, DIY recipes are like the thing that I feel like most people are asking about all the time. I want a DIY recipe for this, or I have this oil. Do you have any DIY suggestions on how to use it? Well, guess what? With the LifeSteps app, yes, there's tons and tons of DIY recipes in here. In fact, there's a whole category link under the resources tab where you can look up DIY recipes, or you could even look up the individual products themselves. So for instance, I'll run this video real quick again, but this was thieves, right? DIY recipes with thieves. Super easy to do, but it gives you like the explanation on what ingredients you need, how to make the recipes. It's phenomenal. So you'll see as you scroll down, here are DIYs with thieves. There are healthcare beauty type recipes, right? Like a breath spray or a foot scrub, bath soak, There are also cleaning DIY recipes that will come up in just a little bit. So again, really great way to really learn on the go and learn how to use your oils and use the Young Living products. But you can also share this content as well with family, with friends and family, even whether it's the content itself, like the DIY recipes, or maybe you actually make the gifts. Like in this case, a carpet powder. Maybe you make that and gift it to a friend and have a link over to check out all the other DIY recipes. So many great things that you can do here. Okay, next up, let me show you Printables. So this is a really cool feature within the app that you may have not even known that it even existed. So you can get really cool printables with the free version of LifeSteps, like this bingo card. So you can print that out and play like a fun bingo. There's other free printables in here too, but by and large, the printables available is in the Pro version. Now, I think LifeSteps is $8.99 a month, but there's a lot of really great printables in here. Everything from like diffuser bomb recipes like this, DIY labels for like rollers, even mailers, right? For those of you who are brand partners and you want to send a mailer out to maybe your customers, there are a ton. So let me run this again so you can just kind of take a sneak peek. But you'll see here tons and tons of printables. And it just makes it so much easier. You don't need to buy it on Etsy. You don't need to create your own. They've got it in here. So here's a bingo card, and there's one that's published every single month. It's a really fun way to learn. You could even do this with other people. But then there are also really cool, like I said, printables in here. This one is all about diffuser recipes that you could send to people. There's another one in here. Let's see here, diffuser bombs with all these cool recipes that you could include. So just really great things that you can do. Okay, online courses. So tell me in here, have you ever taken an online course before? So online courses are really just a great way to learn on the go. And LifeSteps has a ton of free online courses. You can learn about product lines, like you'll see there's oils, Ningxia Red, Thieves, CBD, Savvy Minerals Makeup, and even some beginner courses about the business. There's even a new course, and that's kind of where the video just ended right here, for new customers to learn about the benefits of their membership. So they'll learn, all about Young Living, what makes Young Living different, how to use the oils, understanding the virtual office. Like literally for any of you who are brand new, you could go through and take this course and learn all about your Young Living membership and the benefits of it right here. Or if you're a brand partner and you just sign someone up, you can encourage them to download the LifeSteps app and take this course, right? What I would suggest is take this course, take the wellness assessment, right? Those are the first two things you do, just to help people go through and learn all the different features of Young Living and the potential products that they may need. So really cool. The other thing, and I'll run the video again, that you'll see with online courses is there's actually a lot of great content, even for if you've got the Pro version, again, $8.99. So lots of great information here. So you'll see videos, goal setting, social media courses that you get included in the Pro version. So again, lots of really cool features here. Okay. Next up, oh, I got online courses in here twice. Let me go ahead and do this. Zoom calls. Okay. So Zoom calls. Sorry, guys, the right video is not popping up here. So you may not know this, but in the app itself, when you go under resources, you'll see a line there for Zoom calls. So this is really cool. These Zoom calls are done by various Young Living leaders with, just across the board, not just our team, it's actually all the way across the board. And they teach on a variety of oil education and business topics. So just a really cool feature. We offer Tuesday calls, as you know, right? Every single week. But the other thing is, if you're we will have all the replays available, but if you just wanted additional information, or maybe there was just a topic in here that really resonated with you, you can watch the replays of those Zoom calls with the LifeSteps app. So super cool feature there. Okay. Shareable content. All right, so LifeSteps has a ton of great content that you can share with family and friends. So whether you're doing the business or not, you'll have friends who are going to ask about the products. So this shareable content is just a really easy way to get the information out to them. So for those of you with the free app, you can search for any product. So again, going back to my first example with the Clary Sage, right? That was free content. You could grab the link for that oil and even link, right? Copy the link, send it out to someone who had a question about Clary Sage. And you can do that with the free content. Again, so much free content. But if you've got the pro version, you're going to have access to a lot more content. So you'll see here it says pro. This is all the pro content. So it's going to be a lot of the professional photos, and these are photos that could be used right in your social media. You could create a post, you could create social media stories. That's all there for you. But there's also like Instagram stories, Instagram stickers, infographics, and of course the printables that I mentioned earlier. So much great content. Like I said, there is a lot of good free content, but the pro content, it's just amazing. So again, not just professional photos, which I'll be honest, I have paid for before just to be able to have shareable content, or the Instagram stories and Instagram content, which again, I have paid for. You can kind of get that all in one app. So I think I had number 8 was twice, but I think shareable content could deserve 2 points here, just because you've got so much in here, not just the photos, but also the stories and everything else. So I'll just run the video again, just because I think it's so great to see all of the different features. So I'll show you here. But you'll see the Instagram stories, photos like the vitality drops, carousel. So right when you go to Instagram and you like swipe through someone's post, that's like a carousel. So they'll have photos for that, like slides. So much great stuff. So you can really sort of take their content and use as is, or if you like these photos and want to create your own story or slide or something, you can absolutely do that too. So nice knowing that they've got so many great features in here. Okay. So, oops, sorry, you guys. So here's what I would suggest is if you haven't done it yet, go ahead and download the LifeSteps app for free. I'm going to stop sharing here and make sure and answer your questions. So if you've not done it yet, let me type in the URL. That's it right there. So you can download it for free. Just check it out. I was a longtime free user. That's just how I roll. I'm like, I'm going to do it for free, see how it is, right? Before I do the paid version. I personally, just as a brand partner, love all the pro version content, not just the videos, but especially the photos and the shareable content. It just makes it so much easier for me. So you kind of need to decide, right, where you are with your budget. You can certainly do a ton with the free content, but I wanted to show you all the things because I knew so many of you didn't know there was all of that just in one app. Pretty cool, right? And you know what? That's just kind of scratching the surface. There is a lot more stuff in there, but I didn't want to overwhelm you with too much information right now. We can do like a LifeSteps 2.0 sometime in the future and really do a deep dive. But those of you who are brand partners, right, make sure you stay on. In 10 minutes, we're going to talk about more apps that you need for your business. But really, LifeSteps is phenomenal. I would highly suggest it. I've actually canceled other services, other things, because I just feel like LifeSteps for me personally was so worth it. So yes, a 2.0, Robin. So I'm going to go through and see if there's any questions. Let's see here. Yeah, for those of you who like the desk reference or the oil reference, LifeSteps is really going to be like a nice companion to that. Nothing's going to replace your little pocket reference, right? Where you can look up all the great information on oil usage and everything. Like, let's be real, there's stuff, right? LifeSteps is very compliant, which is great, but there's all kinds of stuff that you can get in the pocket reference that you can't necessarily get anywhere else. But for someone who's new and just starting to use oils, I think LifeSteps is such a valuable tool. And then for you brand partners, I think there's such great content that is shareable even within the app itself. Now, I do believe you need to have the pro version to share within the app. What that means is to be able to email or text within the app. But you know what? It's not a big deal. You can copy a link and send it out outside of the app, and it's totally fine. Okay, let's see. I'm making sure I go through all the questions. Yeah, I never knew there was printables, the DIY. There's so much DIY in LifeSteps. Literally, I think you could probably publish a book with all of the DIY recipes. There is so much in there. In fact, they just put something in there. I think it's called like the spring drop or the spring guide. I kid you not, I think there's over 100 DIY recipes in it. It is ridiculous. There is so much in there. It's ridiculous. So for any of you, right, who love to DIY, want to try out new things, want to use up the oils that maybe you got in monthly promos or maybe in just your stash, definitely go through. It's such a great way, right, to use your oils in a way that maybe you had never thought of before. And again, if you're a brand partner, those DIY recipes are gold. You could create classes and make and takes with those, or even, share on social media how to use all of that. So it's really phenomenal. Okay, we have a good question here. Does the person you're sending the info to need to have the app? That's a really good question. So what it does is it's going to send to a web page and they'll be able to view the content. So they don't need to have the app per se, but they won't be able to like dig in, like I just showed you in the videos, to like do the wellness assessment or to like do their own searches unless they have the app. So I would recommend, if you're going to send it to anyone, like send it to them and let them know, you could even sort of like value add it. When you get your Young Living order in, you'll be able to get this app for free, right? You can sort of package it in sort of that way. But no, they don't need to have the app. And in fact, if you've got the pro version, when you send things out to people and they end up buying, they can do that because within the pro version, you also get a free website. I don't really personally tend to use the free website that much because I already have my own blog. But if you didn't already have a website, that could be a great feature too. But that's a really good question, Mary. Thanks for asking. What other questions do you have? Ask me anything about LifeSteps. Or did you learn something new you've never learned before and you can't wait to try it? It's so good. I do know, while we're waiting for questions and comments to come in, there is a LifeSteps Instagram. So you can always follow that as well on Instagram if that is something that you enjoy to sort of consume content. You can always go to Instagram and follow to see what like new features, they sort of come out with. Let's see, Amber, if you copy the link and share it in Facebook, does it show a pic too or just the clickable link? I don't know personally. I would test it out and see. What you could always do is download the graphic, right? Or take a screenshot of a graphic. So let's say back to the Clary Sage example, you wanted to share that. You could always screen grab, right, the graphic and then post some content with your link in there. You could totally do that. I'll share a little bit more when we get to the business call in just a few minutes, how I really utilize the LifeSteps app for business. But yeah, there's just a ton of really great content. I will just tell you, just today, I had people asking me questions about various oils. I love the Young Living website, but I just find the depth of content that's within LifeSteps. That's how I answer the questions, you guys, like just to make it easier for everybody, right? That's what I do. One person asked about Clary Sage. I grabbed the link for Clary Sage and said, here you go. Let me know if you have more questions, right? Someone else had asked me about Canadian fleabane, right? I went in there, grabbed the info and sent it out. Like literally, someone will ask about the cleansing trio. Okay, let me grab the cleansing trio. Like this is how I'm like giving people information is I just grab it from the LifeSteps app. I love the app itself on my phone, right? Very easy. A lot of times when I'm sharing information, you can also access it on the website, like on a laptop or a computer. So I often will, use it within my laptop, send out a text message or send out a Facebook message or even an email, just grabbing the link itself. Yeah, I would totally agree. So we have another question. Jaylen is saying she's got an in-person event on Saturday, and if people have questions that she doesn't have answers yet, yeah, girl, I would 1000% recommend that. Again, it's just an easy reference because not only can you look it up on the app, you could say, okay, give me your information, give me your email or your phone number. I will text or I will email this out to you. So you can, it's like a 2-for-1. You're giving them the information, but you're also collecting their contact information and you can do sort of a follow-up with them thereafter. So that's a really great idea. So whether you're doing an in-person event like that, or maybe you're at work and you've got coworkers or you've got friends over, right? You're going to get questions about the oils, or maybe you yourself have questions about the oils. My go-to, the first place I go to, I'm not even exaggerating, is I go straight to the LifeSteps app. I just find that they lay out the information so neat and succinct. It's very easy to understand for a layperson who's not used oils before, but there's also a lot of great content, like there's information on constituents and where it's from. So if you are sort of that science person, right, where you love to know that, you've got the information in there too. So it sort of, meets different learning styles, whether it's science, whether it's the doing with the DIY recipes, but also the book suggestions. I didn't go into a lot of detail in the examples, but every single month there's different book suggestions to add to your repertoire of your library so you can keep learning. So that is the LifeSteps app, you guys. I hope I've encouraged you to go download the app, at least get the free version, test it out for yourself. For any of you who are brand partners, it's a great tool to recommend to your customers too, but I absolutely love it. We'll do a 2.0 call sometime in the near future, but we're going to wrap up this call. I want to encourage all of you to stay on because we're now going to be moving over into a call all about apps for your business. So this is going to be really great. And again, I love talking about apps. So be sure to stay on. We're going to talk about apps for your business. Let me just do this real quick. I'm going to end this call. I'm not ending it. You don't have to go. I'm just going to end the recording. There we go.